Oscar BEVIS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here at the Brentwood Centre, joined by the Indian Kimbo Slice. In all seriousness, I'm joined by Mr. Inder Bassi. First things first, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
We caught up recently, just a quick one after your fight, because I was meant to come down to your gym, but that hasn't materialised. But let's just talk first things first about the absolute war that we've seen between James Hawley and Josh Adewale. 4-2 James on the scorecards. Fair?
Do you know what? I just want to give credit to both fighters, mate. It was an absolute war. Both of them showed a strong chin, you know, and they took the fight very early on in both of their careers, a 50-50 fight. Whether I agree with it, listen, I'm not a judge, I'm not a referee, but I thought it was a bit more narrower maybe, but listen, whoever won, it could have gone either way and I wouldn't have complained because it was an absolute war.
I need to take you to the press conference now because you know what's been said. I think James and Josh are giving it back and forth, and Josh went, "You lost to Inder in the amateurs." So you've already beaten James in the amateurs?
In the amateurs, yeah. It was a Haringey box, I think it was the semi-final. And yeah, I boxed him, he was at Rumbles, and I was with Hoddesdon, beat him, yeah. So he's a tough guy, he always was, but just got to box smart, innit, and that's it.
I'm going to talk about another rumour that I've heard. You beat Daniel Dubois in the amateurs as well. Now this is one that will come as a shock to many people when you see Daniel now and you see yourself now. Yeah. And you look at sort of size and weight difference between you, but you've beaten Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Daniel Darko was it? Danny Darko, the nuisance. But yeah, I boxed Daniel Dubois in the amateurs. I was schoolboys, and he was about 50 kilos or something, and I beat him. And a lot of people can't believe it when I do tell them, but I don't want to walk around saying, "Oh, I beat Dubois, you know.
But yeah.
But I have, but I don't want to sort of make a name on his name. Do you know what I mean? But nah, he was always a good fighter, and we were the same age, and we did box each other in the schoolboys, and I did beat him. He was at Ripton and I was at my amateur club, Gator.
I'm asking everyone to split between him and Joyce now. How do you split that?
I think if Dubois has the power to, I mean, look, both of them have the power to knock each other out, but I think Joyce is more resilient. He's a tougher guy. He's been a bit more tried and tested throughout the longer rounds, I think. And so if it goes longer distance, I think Joyce nicks it. If it's an early knockout, it'd be by Dubois, I think. That's my prediction.
Well, Joyce, I mean, I say Willie, he probably is quite clearly the most resilient man that Dubois has faced.
By far. And that will show, do you know what I mean? Because Dubois, I don't think has, he hasn't boxed as a professional, no one of his calibre, and someone who's hungry, someone who's willing, and someone who's going to turn up, and who is, a very tough athlete, a boxer. You know what I mean?
I mean, Joyce has boxed Ustinov, Bermain, Stiverne. I mean, they're names, but they're what some people would say washed names, as we like to call them, or people who are spent, etc. So it's the biggest sort of test for both of them.
100%.
I mean, would either outcome surprise you, even if it was Joyce to knock out Dubois to win on points? Would any of them surprise you?
No, it's another 50-50 fight, do you know what I mean? They're both hungry, they're both coming to win. That's why I said I can't really split it, you know what I mean? It's not one of them fights where I'm clear cut, this is going to be the win and this is how he's going to win. They're both of their toughest fights. Both got dynamite in their hands and are both coming to win. And not just saying it, they are 101% coming to win, both of them.
Let's talk about yourself. When you're next out?
April 18th.
Is that like a date that you, like pretty solid date that you know?
Yeah, 101%. April 18th. I think Charlie Edwards is on he's the main event, and I'm on the undercard. But yeah, that's my next bout.
Stepping it up?
I think I want to do a 6-rounder. It's my third fight. I want to do a 6-rounder. I think it is going to be a 6-rounder, but obviously I won't find out until a bit closer. But I think 99% is a 6-rounder.
Obviously going to be back in the gym with Kev and the boys. One man from your gym who is fighting tonight, the main event, Danny Dignam against Alfredo Mealy. Alfredo, I mean, he's got this reputation as being someone who's very come forward, very aggressive, but if you look at his record, it seems like bar Conrad, who Danny's beat, he hasn't really been with anyone of higher calibre. What sort of test is this for Danny though?
Listen, Danny is a tough, he's a strong operator. Melly, again, like you said, judging by his record, he hasn't got many stoppages, although he's a come forward fighter. And what I personally think is if he keeps coming forward and he tries to, rough Danny up, he's gonna get dealt with, and he will. Danny's a good operator, he's slick, as you saw against Cummins, you know what I mean? He was precise with his shots, he wasn't missing, he wasn't wasting anything, and he just dismantled him. And I think it will be the same outcome today. Melly's going to come forward, but I just think Danny's a bigger man, he's a strong, physically he is a bigger man, as we saw at the weigh-in, but I think he's just, I know he's a much heavy hitter than Melly, so I do know that Digham's going to walk away with a win.
He's now sort of climbing these WBO rankings. I mean, it's weird because with the WBO rankings, and I suppose with any governing body, you could find yourself right up there when perhaps you're not at that level. I mean, I think Danny will be the first to say right now he's not a world level fighter. But I mean, a couple more defences and he will be in contention for someone who wants a voluntary defence.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Danny, you could ask him, and he's a very polite, very humble person. So you could ask him, and he'd probably not, even if he would say, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? You could ask him. I asked him who was better, him and his twin brother, who was a better fighter, and he says his brother. So whether or not he is or not, he's just genuinely a polite person, and he would never sort of big himself up. So I do think he's world level. Do you know what I mean? I mean, he's not, the best middleweight in the world, but he's a lot closer than he was a year ago. And I do think if you ask him, he'd probably say, nah, he might not agree, but I do think Danny Dignam is a world class operator. Soon to be after this fight, this is going to be like a breakout fight for him, and we will all see where Danny Dignam is, which I believe he is.
I was going to say, when this goes out, we will know the result of the fight. At the moment, I think the fight's 2 fights away. Well, let's talk about the gym. I mean, people always say legendary gyms and this and that. Kev Lilly and the boys, you could become a big player as people talking about you as a top gym. I mean, yourself, Danny Darko, Danny Dignam, loads of the other boys. I mean, George Mitchell as well, exactly, another esteemed amateur. So you could become sort of a gym that people look at and people go, that's a serious stable.
100%, you know what I mean? Danny Dignam's leading the way as he's boxing today, defending his WBO European title. But we've got Danny Darko. He won the southern area. I think it's like the shortest time he broke the record for someone to win it at his particular weight. And obviously you got me and myself and George Mitchell. We're both hungry amateurs, hungry professionals who've just recently turned pro. So camp life, is good buzz. Everyone enjoys themselves. Hopefully, in the next year or so, we will stand out and we'll begin to see, that Kevin Lilly's stable is a force. You know what I mean?
Right, Inder, thank you very much for speaking to IFL TV, and I'm sure we'll catch up. I'll come down to the gym soon. I'm sure we'll catch up with you and the boys.
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. The door's always open. Come down whenever, mate.